Couple of breaths to flow through our body. Huge inhales. Good, relaxing exhales. So already taking a moment to connect with an intention. This time of the year, we've got a lot of words that we might throw out. Words like hope, joy, peace, connection, goodwill, kindness, just straight compassion. There's a lot of words we might throw out for the type of season we hope to have around this time of the year, making it less about consumerism, about money, about greed, and about objects, making it much more about these true, deeper kinds of things, that these qualities that make us a human, that make us, that make a life worth living. And so the idea today is imagining as we go through our Yogilates class, we're going to try to get different strengthening things for all over the body, kind of like from head to toe. And so in trying to touch on everything, imagine you're creating warmth and space in the cells all over your body. And this warmth and space, we're creating it for filling it with that idea, with whatever word you choose that embodies this season for you. And so take just a couple of breaths to really hand select what quality maybe does the world need more of right now, or what quality do you wish that you embodied more of. Just hand pick that word, maybe even kind of see in your mind's eye that word spelled out, or see a picture of you living that word, whatever that might look like. And so helping to increase that will send us forward into our practice today. And so with this idea, let us start taking the knees into the chest. And let's ease around at first, those low back, the hip areas. We're kind of helping to make sure that they're not in any sort of trouble. If maybe rocking around, you notice the sacrum's tilted a little bit, maybe you can kind of rock the tilt back toward a nice flat plate. So just notice what's going on. Okay, and from here, we're going to start off with our first movement, keeping the knees right over the hips, extend the shins straight out. Arms can open out left and right. And let's begin to use our inhales to tilt partway to one side. And an exhale contracts us to bring us back. And an inhale partway to the other side. And exhale to bring us back. And just keep on going. You're welcome to challenge yourself, playing with how deep it feels good to travel. And just keep on playing around with this. Keep on easing it your way both directions. Imagine it's as if the yin and the yang are coming into balance. It's like we're both filling our cup and emptying our cup when we tilt. So that's almost like we're filling ourselves up with joy, and then we're spreading joy, or whatever your word is that you picked today. So taking a few more of these and starting to feel those oblique muscles really work to contract us back up. And take 2 more to each side. Good. Clasp hands around right knee. Extend the left leg out long. Pull this right knee in a little bit tighter. And then we'll send it to a nice twist. Knee over to heading to the left side. Feel the body relaxing its way open. Like we're creating so much space here. It's like that helps our cup to become even larger. Maybe we like that funny saying of the Grinch and how his heart grew 3 sizes larger? Maybe it's like that. What if kind of our capacity to even love or to have joy is being increased by us working on our body? So now return the hips down, right leg relaxes, left knee in. Give it a hug for a moment, and then continue to tilt. Another good inhale. And exhale, let's return. Beautiful, both legs slide long. Hands can drop on the floor right by our hips. And the idea of this one will be one leg, so maybe choose the right one to start off with. Lifts directly up above us. From there, bend the knee. Bring the foot to hover right above the ground and then slide it all the way long. Left foot lifts straight up. Bend the knee, and then slide it back long. And just notice we're starting to get into some of those muscles on the back side of the leg. That kick up especially does quite a bit. Good. The next time the right leg is up, pause. Take a moment to grab onto the back side of that leg, help to pull it up to a nice stretch. And then when our hands relax, try to keep the muscles engaged to keep it lifting as straight as possible. And then we're going to start bringing that leg left and right. It's not tilting so much that we have to lift the hip up and down, but just letting it go left, right, left, right, left, right. Almost like we've got a metronome going on. Keep the breath flowing. Good, grab back onto that leg, giving it another stretch. And this time when we relax, that leg is going to trace a huge figure V. This is about as wide of a figure V as this leg can take without the hip lifting. And so go up wide for a moment, and then drop down, maybe right above the ground, and then go to the other spot of the V. Good, down and then back wide. Try to keep the toes and the knee pointing upright the whole time, so that way you're activating different muscles through the whole thing. If we were to rotate our thigh with us, we'd kind of just be using more and more of the same muscle. But by the knee staying in the same alignment, pointing up, we're activating different muscles the whole way. And 3, 2, and 1. Lift the leg back up, pull it in. And then take a moment, trying to open the leg super wide. We're also tugging it as far back as we can while we're doing that. Make sure you're not going so wide that the left hip has to lift off the ground. We got a lot of energy in that side. Good, and then when the leg comes back up, bring the left hand to the outer part of that right calf. We're weighing it down so that we're tilting just to the point where the hip starts to lift. The IT band gets a chance to stretch. Okay, leg goes back up one more time. With this last exercise, imagine you've got something balancing on your foot, so you're trying to keep it flexed, and you're not gonna be tilting it at any angle. You're trying to keep that thing balanced. And so from here, we bend the knee, trying to lower it down like a squat, and then press up. You'll notice the knee does need to go a little bit wide, almost like half happy baby, and then press directly up. And wide, here's 7, and up. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now lower that leg slowly down to the ground. Another count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right leg finally gets to rest. So now left leg up for a moment. Just a little stretch, just a breath or two. Keep this right leg activated, trying to bring it solid to the earth. Okay, then we've got our first movement. Releasing hands, keep the legs straight and active. This is left and right, metronome time. And 3, 2, 1, back to stillness, pull it toward you. Give it some time. If you can ease the leg any deeper at any point, take those movements to help it out. When we release this time, we're doing that huge figure V, so let the leg go wide first, and then drop down, maybe right above the ground, and then go wide, inward, and then down and wide. Just keep on tracing that figure V. And 3, 2, 1. Good, bring it back up to the stretch. Okay, the last one, flexing the foot, we bend the knee and then press directly up. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. From here, slowly lower the leg down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze both inner thighs together. Try to bring both legs directly up to the sky. 5 cycles, both legs going wide. And then squeeze. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then from here, leaving the legs squeezed together, we'll trace the figure V with both legs. You might not be able to make it nearly as big as when you were just doing one. That's okay. You're just doing the amount of a figure V you can control. So lower down to a good controllable angle and then raise up to a figure V and down and up to the other side. You'll notice that further down you go, the more you'll include some of those low abdominal muscles for that rectus abdominis. But also you'll notice if you go too low, the low back will want to arch off the ground, so that's not as helpful. And 3, 2, and 1. Good. Our feet have earned a break. Go ahead and plant them down. Once we're there, let's do a few nice windshield wipers. Knees left, knees right. And the next time we go over to the left, let the knees stay to that direction. Option to take left knee on top of, left foot on top of right knee. Good. Releasing that ankle if you lifted it. Both 3 sets of windshield wipers. So right, left, and then stay to the right. Maybe right ankle up. Okay, releasing. A few more sets of windshield wipers. Just making sure all those tight spots are eased out. Good. Eventually the knees stay upright. The feet are planted close to the glutes. Hands are on the floor right by the hips. When we take bridge pose today, let's bring extra awareness to the knees. So the most common thing I see in bridge pose at the top spot is the knees starting to spread open, because that's how the hips try to lift higher. So instead, let's set our knees up immediately in line with the hips. Also make sure the feet are in that same alignment with the hips. So we've got that visual alignment going on. And so from here, start to lift up the tailbone, rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Just kind of purposely for a moment, let the knees go a little bit wider and feel how that's easier. It's like relaxing the muscles. And then feel what it takes to squeeze them right back into that alignment with the hips. We're not touching together, but we've got that little bit of separation, and then roll all the way back down. So now trying to maintain the same distance for the knees. Try to take a few rounds coming up and down. 5, and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. When we come back down, still keep the knees in the same alignment. From here, take the fingertips behind the head to lift up the head. And we're going to do some nice crunches. We'll start off with just simply up and down. And so first we crunch up. It's not about curling the head in. It's about trying to lift as much of the back off the ground as possible. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Lift the right leg up to the sky. Now open the right arm out to the right. We're going to do some crunches, trying to touch that left elbow to that right knee. And down. 9, 8, 7, 6. Remember, again, it's about as much back off the ground as possible. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Right foot down. Switch the hands. Left foot up. Take an inhale. Exhale. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Good. So from here, both legs up to the sky. And then almost like we're muscularly bringing our legs to happy baby pose. Let the knees rotate wide, trying to pull down as far as they can, and then extend right back up. 9, and up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Drop the left foot down, right ankle to left thigh, and then give it a hug. Looking around left side to get the right hip open. See if you relax into it deeper, creating more and more of that space. Our legs at least are pretty warmed up by this point. So notice you've got more kind of warmth. So that's like if you think of it at an atomic level, the very cells, the very atoms are vibrating a bit faster now. And so now we begin to pull it toward a stretch. So that way in the muscle layer, there's much more space rather than just simple tight contraction. Nice inhale. Exhale, let's start to switch it out. Left ankle up, and then give it the hug. So take an inhale. Exhale, relax. And then with the feet resting down, roll over to the side that helps you see me the best. You'll be propping your head up, just resting nicely. Let the both knees be bent at first. And then it's like a clamshell. So we've got one hinge point is the hips, the other hinge point is the toes. And so let yourself imagine you're moving through molasses, slowly bring the legs away, and then slowly squeeze that molasses right out of that clamshell, and you're down. 9. And squeeze. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. Last one. And then squeeze. And then stretch both legs out long. This is the banana shape, so legs are slightly forward. Just rest for a moment, even perhaps using the top hand to help massage any spots that feel warm or tight. Okay. So from here, what we're going to try to do is trace a large circle with that top leg. What you're not allowed to do is bring your shoulders forward or backward to counter what's going on. Instead, the core has to be tight, the top hand is solid on the ground, and you're only moving to that extent that you don't have to move the torso. So we'll start off with the top leg about level with the hip. Start to sweep it forward as much as you have that control, and then lift it up. It won't go super far back, and then start again. Here's 5, 4, and remember, you don't have to go super large to get this. 3, 2, 1, and then drop for a moment. From there, we'll try to reverse it, lift it back up. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and drop. And then from here, hot potatoes. Our top foot taps twice in front, hop up, twice behind. Three, 2, 1. Good. Letting it rest. From here, as we start to rise, simply bring both legs piked out in front of you and take a moment to forward fold over those 2 straight legs. Notice how the side that was up is a lot warmer. That's okay. We're going to get to the second side here in just a moment. Maybe play with the low back. See if you can straighten that low back with your inhales. And then exhales, maybe release just a bit further than you were. And the next inhale is a new amount of straightening to the spine, just kind of playing with the spine for that breath. Creating spaciousness even through that area. Okay, starting to rise up, swivel your legs to the other side of the mat. And then we'll start off first with the bent knees. We got the clamshell, we got the 2 hinges. So move through molasses slowly, rising up 10 and down. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. Last 1. And rest. Extend the legs to the banana shape. Maybe a little massage for a moment. Okay, we got those big circles. Remember, torso doesn't move at all, so set your top hand up solid on the earth. The top leg goes about level with the hip. And then we start to sweep forward, up, just slightly behind, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and rest for a moment. Okay, leg back up, sweeping backwards. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're almost done. Let it rest. And then hot potatoes. We tap twice in front and twice behind with a little hop in the center. And 3, 2, 1. Good. Again, swivel your legs in front of you, pike up, and we're sitting over, stretching over both of those legs. Maybe play with that low back, trying to find a little bit of length. Then relaxing just a bit deeper, maybe 2 or 3 rounds of that. Okay, and then when we come up to sit, we can face forward. From here, our hands can be behind us. This can be fingers propped up or whole wrist, whatever kind of works for you. And with our legs, the idea is we start off with the legs up, and then we open and we close, and we open and we close. So if you need to make this easier, bend the knees and just do that bent knee from here. Just open and close that way. Further is quite a bit more torque, so it'll be, quite a bit harder. So you choose that difficulty. Let's go for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, we're almost there, 3, 2, 1. Try to slide your heels in and then go directly into cobbler. From here, let's start to rise up. Plant the feet in front of you and grab onto the knees, or you can even clasp your hands. And we're trying to push the shoulder blades as far back as possible to stretch right in between that spot. Rising back up, find just a comfortable way to sit here as we drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Try to bring that left shoulder downward to help exaggerate the stretch. Good, lift the head gently back up. And then second side, dropping left ear over left shoulder, trying to pull the right shoulder down. Good, gently back up. Swing the legs around. And we're heading into dolphin pose, the goal being to help get our shoulders like strong to the point where we're trying to hold this to the point where you still have control of over the breath. When it feels like, you know, you're gasping for air, it's getting really hard, your shoulders are tired, just come down to child pose. So no competition necessarily. Make sure elbows are just as wide as the shoulders. You can wrap your fingers around them. Then one hand makes a fist, the other hand hugs around. Once we're there, tuck the toes, lift the hips, and walk the feet in as much as you have that flexibility for. Remember, shoulders are not collapsing down, they're pushing away from the ears. So from that spot, we've got some strength going on for that upper back. So give it a few more breaths if you can, try to keep it flowing. You're still here, maybe take 5 more breaths. And then enjoy some time in child pose. Remember, your knees can be a bit wider if you need to make it slightly easier to rest down. Good, so rising up for a moment. See if you can clasp your hands behind your back. Posture's tall, bring your hands to the right hip, and then drop the right ear down. Good, head up, hands to the left hip, drop the left ear down. Good, head up, hands release. Come to a high kneeling position. You can choose once we start this if you like the toes up or the toes down. It's whatever helps you feel more control. And so arms are up in front of us. One arm takes a back stroke. We lean partway back. You feel the quads strengthening and then circle right back up. And then second side and up. We've got the shoulders warming up, strengthening. At the same time, those quads are working for us. 3 more each. Two. And 1. Good. We're in the final stretch. We've got just a little bit left. So plant the hands, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. So the legs lengthen. And then start to walk the hands backwards. You're in a forward fold. Next inhale to rise. Good, hands at the heart, and then hands open down by our sides. From here, check that the feet are the same distance as your hips. So we've got that good alignment from there. We're going to be heading back and forth into fierce pose and then back out. So our 2 things to check first are that knees never go past toes. Instead, it's the glutes that sit back. And then the second thing we're checking is that we don't knock the knees into one another or wider. They're staying right tracked over the toes, okay? So arms are at our sides. When we start to sit back, we sweep the arms forward and up, and then come right back to stand. 9, 8, 7, like a little challenge. How low can I sit without moving my knees? 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. When we're back up, let's do just a little bit for our calves and our feet. So rising up, try to balance. Good, and down. Up, try to balance. And down. Here's 8. And down. 7. Down. 6. Down. 5. Down. 4. And down. 3. Down. 2. Good. With the last one, so go down. Last one, try to stick it and hold a little bit longer. So 1. Good. Set the heels down, curl the head down. Walk forward, plank. We're going to be doing just a little bit of arm strengthening with push-ups. So if you need to drop down to kneeling plank, that for me, I'm not very good with push-ups, so kneeling plank is way better, so you choose. As we're lowering down, remember the elbows are squeezing in, so they're pointing back instead of wide. So we're going to try to aim for about 10, the very best that we can do. So take it slow, 10, and press. 9, keep on breathing. 8, 7, if you ever need to drop to knees, you're allowed. If you need to just not go quite so far, 6. Oh, you're amazing. 5, 4, final 3. This is it. 2, last hard thing of the day. 1. Whew. Good work. Come to a kneeling place. Bring this right arm clear up to the sky. Feel the whole spine twist open. And then thread that right shoulder under and through. Feel that shoulder open. Feel the neck release. Feel the spine twisting. You get to choose what to do with that left hand. Maybe walk it forward or maybe around the low back. Whatever feels the most helpful. Slide the left hand in, press into it. Maybe take a moment with a cat and the cow. Beautiful. Left arm starts to reach up. And thread under and through. Choose with that right arm what to do to help it out. Nice inhale. Exhale, slide right hand in, press into it, taking a cat and a cow. Good. We'll head into rabbit pose. So rabbit pose, we start by sitting back on our feet. Each hand grabs each heel. And then from here, setting the forehead down in front of us, we start to lift lift the hips up until we rock onto the crown of the head, and that's where we pause. And this gives a nice stretch, pulling the shoulder blades away from one another. Nice inhale. Exhale, sit back. This is child pose, so we can either leave the arms draping like this, embryo, or walking the arms forward, whatever feels best for that area. Beautiful. As we start to rise, find a comfortable seated place. And so from here, allow this right arm to be about shoulder height. We swing it as far open behind us as we possibly can. Just pause for a moment. From there, start to lift the hand up like it's slowly tracing a rainbow. Eventually the rainbow comes up over your head and it begins to travel to the space in front of you, pausing when it's shoulder height. From there, continue to cross the right arm over toward the left side of your body. Left arm hugs it in. Nice shoulder stretch. Maybe head tilts over to the left. Good. Allow both arms to open. Then right arm rests down. Left arm is shoulder height. Trace it backwards as far as you can possibly reach behind you. Pause. Start to trace that rainbow going up and forward. Once it's at shoulder height, trace it over to the right until right arm can grab it in. Maybe head tilts over to the right. Good. Both arms start to open wide. And fingers can drop down. Lift the chin up. Jutting the jaw forward to stretch the throat. Good. Head rises through neutral. And then we'll slowly tilt chin down to chest to stretch the back of the neck. And if you want more, you'll clasp hands together, resting the hands on the head. Not to pull down, but to let gravity have a little bit more weight to work with. Good. Gently releasing, the head can start to rise. And from here, we're heading to that 2 or 3 minutes where we can do any last little stretches our body would love to do prior to Shavasana. Anything at all, something seated, something laying down. Kind of start to explore those last things that might feel delicious. There's no rush to get to Shavasana, so take literally another full minute or so if you need it. Some point when you feel complete, sooner or later, perhaps it might be helpful to take a moment to visualize once again that word or the picture, or envision a scene where you totally, completely embody that thing that you chose of this season. The love, joy, peace, compassion, whatever it is. Really picture it to the very best of your mental ability. And releasing that entirely, allow yourself the next couple of minutes just to breathe, imagining that by simply breathing, we're beginning to attract that future that you just envisioned toward us to become our reality. Begin to deepen inhales and exhales. Introducing movement back to fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Stretching out like we're waking up first thing in the morning. Taking a fetal position off to one side. Maybe a good 3 or 4 breaths until you feel ready to rise up to a comfortable seated place. So here with hands in front of our heart, we allow ourselves permission to trust that this image, this word, this picture that we chose will be coming toward us. We are full of it. We created space for it. And so it's coming toward us, whether we necessarily trust it or not. Just know the good things are on their way. And especially as we use the energy that we have, we find that our heart and our capacity to have even more energy and give even more good away tends to have increased. And so with this idea to lead us on, let's wrap up the time we got to share together with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste.